The deep sea is the largest habitat on Earth. And we know almost nothing about it. Below 200 meters, sunlight disappears. Temperatures drop. Pressure rises to crushing levels. It's a world that seems completely hostile to life. And yet, life thrives here. Not just ordinary life, but creatures so bizarre, so alien, they almost look like they belong on another planet. Fish with transparent heads. Creatures that glow in the darkness like living lanterns. Predators with teeth so large they cannot close their mouths. And animals that can swallow prey larger than themselves. But this raises a strange question. If the deep sea is such a brutal environment, why are its creatures so unbelievably weird? Why does the ocean hide animals that seem to break every rule of biology? To understand this mystery, we have to go deeper. Much deeper. The ocean is divided into layers. Near the surface lies the sunlight zone. This is where most marine life lives. Coral reefs flourish here. Fish swim through warm waters. Plants grow using sunlight. But once you descend past 200 meters, everything changes. Light begins to fade. Colors vanish. And the ocean becomes dark, cold, and silent. Scientists call this region the twilight zone. And below that, lies the midnight zone. A place where sunlight never reaches. Ever. Imagine living your entire life in absolute darkness. No sunrise. No sunset. Just endless black water. In this world, vision becomes almost useless. And this is where evolution begins to get creative. Very creative. In the deep sea, food is extremely rare. There are no plants. No sunlight for photosynthesis. Which means the entire ecosystem depends on tiny particles drifting down from above. Scientists call this marine snow. It's made of dead plankton, waste, microscopic debris, and fragments of organic matter slowly falling from the surface. To us, it might sound insignificant. But in the deep sea, this slow snowfall of nutrients is the main source of food. Imagine trying to survive in a desert where food falls from the sky only a few times a day. Competition becomes fierce. And survival demands extreme adaptations. This is why deep-sea animals look so strange. Every body shape, every glowing light, every oversized mouth, is the result of millions of years of evolution solving one brutal problem. How do you survive, when food is almost impossible to find? Take the anglerfish. At first glance, it looks like something from a nightmare. A bulbous body. Needle-like teeth. And a glowing lure hanging from its head. But this horrifying design serves a brilliant purpose. In total darkness, hunting becomes nearly impossible. So instead of chasing prey, the anglerfish waits. It dangles a glowing lure in front of its mouth. Like a fisherman using bait. Small fish see the light and swim closer. Curiosity draws them in. And in an instant, the anglerfish strikes. Its jaws snap open like a trap. And the prey disappears. But this is where things get strange. The anglerfish's lure glows using bioluminescent bacteria. Tiny microbes living inside the fish produce light through chemical reactions. It's essentially a built-in flashlight powered by living organisms. And that's not even the weirdest part. Some female anglerfish carry permanent male partners attached to their bodies. Yes. Attached. In certain species, the male bites the female, and never lets go. His body slowly fuses with hers. His organs shrink. Until eventually, he becomes little more than a living sperm factory. It may sound disturbing. But in the deep sea, finding a mate is incredibly difficult. The ocean down here is vast and empty. So evolution solved the problem in a radical way. Once a male finds a female, he stays forever. But the anglerfish is only the beginning. Deeper still lives a creature even stranger. The barrel-eye fish. At first glance, it looks ordinary. Small body. Silver scales. Nothing unusual. Until you look at its head. Because its head is transparent. Inside the clear dome of its skull are two bright green tubes. Those tubes are actually its eyes. But instead of pointing outward like most animals, they point upward. like telescopes staring into the darkness above. To understand why this happens, we need to think about how deep-sea predators hunt. Many animals below rely on silhouettes. If a fish swims above them, its shape blocks the faint light filtering down from the surface. This creates a shadow. And the barrel-eye fish uses its upward-facing eyes to detect those shadows. But the real reason its head is transparent is even more surprising. The clear dome protects its delicate eyes as it swims through forests of stinging siphonophores. These floating colonies carry venomous tentacles capable of paralyzing prey. Yet the barrel eye slips between them, unharmed. It steals food trapped in their tentacles. Like a thief sneaking through a dangerous minefield. And then there are creatures that seem almost impossible. Animals that glow in vibrant blues, greens, and reds. In fact, bioluminescence is one of the most common survival tools in the deep sea. More than 75% of deep-sea animals can produce light. But they don't glow just to look beautiful. They glow to survive. Some species use light to attract prey. Others use it to confuse predators. And some use it to disappear completely. This technique is called counterillumination. Certain squid and fish produce light from their undersides. The glow matches the faint light coming from above. Which means predators looking upward cannot see their silhouette. It's the ocean equivalent of stealth camouflage. Like a fighter jet blending perfectly into the sky. Nature invented invisibility, millions of years before humans imagined it. But if you think glowing animals are strange, what comes next is even more extreme. Because some deep-sea predators don't just hunt prey. They swallow them whole. Creatures like the gulper eel have mouths that stretch to enormous sizes. Their jaws open wide enough to swallow animals much larger than themselves. Imagine a creature the size of a small snake suddenly trying to swallow a rabbit. It seems impossible. But evolution has given these predators stretchy stomachs and expandable jaws. In a place where meals are rare, you cannot afford to be picky. When food appears, you take it. No matter how large. But perhaps the most mysterious thing about the deep sea is this. Every time scientists explore it, they discover something completely new. New species. New behaviors. New biological strategies. In fact, researchers estimate that millions of species may still be undiscovered in the deep ocean. Entire ecosystems could exist, hidden in darkness. Creatures we have never seen. Animals stranger than anything we can imagine. And the deeper we go, the stranger life becomes. But the real surprises of the deep sea are still waiting. Because in the darkest parts of the ocean, life doesn't just survive. It evolves into something truly unimaginable. And some of the creatures discovered there rewrite everything we thought we knew about life on Earth. The deeper scientists explore the ocean, the stranger life becomes. Thousands of meters below the surface lies a realm few humans have ever seen. A place called the abyssal zone. Down here, the pressure is immense. At 4,000 meters, the weight of the ocean above you is equal to having 50 jumbo jets stacked on top of your body. For humans, that pressure would crush lungs, collapse blood vessels, and destroy cells instantly. Yet deep-sea animals live here every day. Perfectly adapted to conditions that would kill most life on Earth. But this raises another mystery. If the deep sea is so extreme, how did life adapt to survive here at all? The answer lies in evolution. And millions of years of experimentation. One of the most fascinating adaptations is something scientists call extreme gigantism. In the deep ocean, some creatures grow far larger than their shallow water relatives. Take the giant isopod. At first glance, it looks like a giant pill bug. The same small creature that rolls into a ball in your garden. Except this version can grow over 40 centimeters long. About the size of a house cat. Its armored body crawls slowly across the ocean floor, scavenging for dead animals. But this oversized body is not random. In the cold, oxygen-rich waters of the deep sea, metabolism slows down. Animals burn energy much more slowly. Which allows them to grow larger, and live longer. Some giant isopods can survive years without eating. Imagine going from childhood to adulthood, without a single meal. But in the deep sea, patience is survival. Another creature pushes this strategy even further. The colossal squid. Unlike the famous giant squid, this species is heavier, stronger, and even more mysterious. Very few humans have ever seen one alive. It lives in the freezing waters of the Southern Ocean, thousands of meters deep. And it is armed with something terrifying. Rotating hooks on its tentacles. Not just suction cups, but spinning hooks designed to grip struggling prey. Imagine trying to escape from dozens of tiny grappling hooks. For fish swimming through the darkness, there is almost no chance of escape. But this is where things get strange. The colossal squid has some of the largest eyes in the entire animal kingdom. Each eye can be over 27 centimeters across. About the size of a soccer ball. Why would a creature living in darkness need eyes that large? To understand why this happens, we have to think about light. Even in the deep ocean, faint flashes of light exist. Tiny bioluminescent sparks. Flashes created by animals fleeing predators. And the colossal squid uses its enormous eyes to detect these distant signals. But the real reason is even more surprising. Scientists believe these giant eyes help the squid detect approaching sperm whales. When a massive whale swims through the deep sea, it disturbs the water, triggering glowing plankton around it. The squid's giant eyes may detect this distant glow, giving it just enough time to escape. It's like seeing the headlights of an oncoming truck in the darkness. And that's not even the weirdest part of deep-sea survival. Because some animals down here survive without sunlight, or even oxygen. In 1977, scientists made a discovery that shocked the world. While exploring the seafloor near the Galapagos Rift, researchers found something impossible. A thriving ecosystem, completely independent of sunlight. Towering clusters of giant tube worms. Strange crabs. Alien-looking clams. All living around towering black chimneys spewing hot chemicals. These structures are called hydrothermal vents. They form when seawater seeps into cracks in the Earth's crust. The water heats up near molten rock, sometimes reaching temperatures above 400 degrees Celsius. Then it erupts back into the ocean carrying dissolved minerals. At first glance, these vents seem deadly. But life has turned them into opportunity. Instead of using sunlight for energy, these ecosystems rely on chemosynthesis. Special bacteria convert toxic chemicals like hydrogen sulfide into energy. It's similar to photosynthesis. But instead of sunlight, they use chemical reactions. These bacteria form the foundation of an entire food chain. And the giant tube worms rely on them completely. In fact, the worms don't even have mouths. Or stomachs. Inside their bodies live billions of symbiotic bacteria. The worms provide shelter. And the bacteria produce food. It's a partnership so strange, it almost seems like science fiction. But it's real. And it proves something incredible. Life doesn't always need sunlight. Under the right conditions, life can thrive almost anywhere. But the deepest ocean of all pushes survival to the absolute limit. This is the Hadal Zone. Named after Hades, the Greek god of the underworld. It exists in the deepest ocean trenches on Earth. Places like the Mariana Trench, nearly 11 kilometers deep. Down here, the pressure is over 1,000 times greater than at the surface. The temperature hovers just above freezing. And food is incredibly scarce.